Perfect, everyone. We're all set up. Everything is perfect as it is. So welcome everyone to Thursday Night Yin. We're in a beautiful heart opener. Let's go this way. We're just placing that bolster on our backs, soles of the feet to the floor. Want to make sure we're nice and comfortable. As we open up, we're just slowly, gently opening up the knees. Any discomfort in the head, bringing the hands behind you, elbows out. And again, just let it flow. Let it go. Deep breath in. Deeper breath out. And as we do this nice and gently, breathing all the way in, all the way out, we're going to start to Brahmari. We're going to do 1, then we're going to do 2, then we're going to do 3. Each time we're going to open up the knees a little bit more. Open up maybe even the arms a little bit more. Good. So deep breath in. And just fully relax, full Brahmari through your body. Inhale. Exhale. Push the belly button all the way down. Good. Now relax everything once again. This time, we're going to open up our knees a little bit more. So by opening up our knees a little bit more, we're going to come into cobbler pose and just hold that position. If you haven't already tried placing your hands behind your head, please do it. It's very comfortable. Opens up the chest, right? The heart is the center of our practice. So breathing here, feeling here, inviting the yin, the state, the experience of stillness to come in, right? And what is arising within us is what is coming in, right? The gravity flows through us. The stillness is within us. It's just awakened. We bring it to a state of an awareness. As you open up your elbows, open up your knees. Try to imagine your whole spine opening up, back bending, right? That's the beauty of this bolster, right? There's no further we could go with the spine. The spine is perfect. All that has to happen now is all of that muscle tissue, all that connective tissue to be pulling off the bone, right? Imagine why we steep things, right? Or why we boil things, right? To get it right from the bone, right? Right from the source, that separation. And in between is what we're working with, what we're feeling with, that connective tissue, right? That's what's softening. And over time, as our muscles open, as we lay out through our elbows backward towards the floor, moving this way, our knees doing the same thing, opening this way. As everything opens up, as we relax down, spine is lifting up. So this feeling of the spine is actually your center line, your midline. And everything is abducting, right? Opening up. Moving away, opening up. Good. 1 Brahmari here. Deep breath in. Holding the breath, open up the legs now. So you're almost in 5-pointed star. And just stay here for just a moment, get acquainted. Exhale, let it go. Relax. And now, once the lower body is relaxed, your feet, you can feel it in your feet. So if you give your feet a shake or wiggle your toes, all that stress, all that tension is gone. And then from there, we're going to open up the arms one at a time. right? And this beautiful position, we know physiologically, gives us a sensation of satisfaction, of victory, right? So whenever an Olympian, comes from Olympus, right? This feeling of godliness, of the winner, of the one, right? Of victory, right? This is the sign, this is the feeling. It actually increases dopamine in our system. As we open up the heart center, the head might start to feel it a little more. Just rock it out, relax it out, breathe, feel. Feel your lungs, feel your throat, feel your diaphragm, right? Expanding as you inhale all the way in that 3-part yogic breath. Nasal passage, lungs, diaphragm, and then exhaling. The diaphragm relaxes, the lungs release, the breath flows out of the nasal passage or mouth. And that experience of yin at the beginning we spoke of, right? It's an experience, and we are the experimenters, right? The scientists that are committed to experience this experiment of ours. And what is that? That's the practice. That's ourselves. And that's what we're doing right now as we expand the posture, we open it up, we start to drape all the muscle, all the connective tissue, opening up the heart. It's like a fountain, right? It's spewing out from the heart center each inhale, lifting it up almost like a circus tent, lifting it all the way up, and then on the exhale, surrounding you in full surrender. Right, feel that beautiful energy flowing through you for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, inhaling all the way in, Brahmari all the way through, deep breath in, exhale, sigh it out. Wonderful, guys. Great first posture. Bring the soles of the feet to the floor. Relax them there. Tuck your chin, reach through your thighs, and then up towards your knees. And we're just going to go up and down a few times. Just nice and relaxed. It feels really good for the upper back. You may think that Alex is deceiving you into doing core, maybe because you weren't there this afternoon. But regardless, it's always important to do this every day on some level, right? Always good to strengthen and lengthen. And also, like we're doing, fully release and restore. But again, it just feels good after such a long back bend to counter bend through the forward fold, using an abdominal crunch to release all that tension in the lumbar spine and thoracic spine we may have created or may have overlooked. A lot of it's going to get let go right now. It feels really good. Fantastic. We're going to go right for forward fold. So from here, all we have to do is slowly be guided forward and then walk our hips back. Walk our hips back. Really good to do this about 10, 20 times. I like to crawl extensively to get back into the angle of the camera, but the beauty of it is really that's the whole goal this whole time. Rather than force your way into it, you can really feel where it is naturally. And right now, I can feel the tension, right? It's down here. We did lots of core today, so those muscles are tense. So those are the ones that are really gonna have to relax. Hamstrings are feeling good. Curling the toes, pointing the toes, right? Everything feels good. We want to reach as far as we want, especially in yin class. There's no mandatory, you have to touch your toes, right? You have to hold on to this. You just want to get into a nice frame, a nice straight frame. And what that is legs straight. And once the legs are straight, we just go forward and back, feeling, right? Because feeling is something that we have to feel through, right? If we just get stuck in our feelings, That's where we'll forever be. The beauty of the yoga is it's already united. It's already been written. Right? It's already there. And so it's really about the consciousness of understanding, of awakening to what is rather than what should or could be. Fantastic. Wherever you are, grab hold. I like to grab hold of the outside of the feet and really just fillet the feet open, using the thumb to really get in there and push forward a little bit. But again, all that's going to disappear once we get into the experience of the yin. Until then, we got to get into the experiment. How do we get to this experience? How do we all feel it the same from different places? How do we all go to the same space? Well, the only way to do that is with consciousness. Consciousness of body, consciousness of mind, consciousness of breath. So, relaxing the head, everything starts to curl forward. Remember, the most important thing here is that the legs are straight. If the legs are not straight, back off, get the legs straight and start curling from there. So wherever it is you are, holding on to what it is, you can bend your elbows. That helps a little bit. The first minute is all about getting comfortable. Comfortable first with straight legs. Once the legs are straight, we start to work with the lumbar spine. Once we work with the lumbar spine, we go even deeper into the organs and start to really, through the breath, it's not just massage, it's heal, right? And it's not even just heal, it's cure. And it's not just cure, it's just what is, right? Who are we to predict what anyone else's outcome is but their own? And yet, we can predict off that prediction a greater prediction, right? Evidence is always great, but the greatest evidence is our own empiricism. That's a universal truth. Listen to your body, listen to yourself. It may be lying to you, but you will know that before anyone else. You'll feel it, you'll know it. Intuitively, it's there. And trust me, if it's been there and you're not hearing it, then someone else will find it. Because again, you're a seeker and the seeker is sought. What is. Whatever you want or be, you already have and are. That's the beauty of that line that we live by, right? That we live through, that we live along, right? Everything we could want and be, we already have and are, right? What is that? It's this moment. It's not reaching your toes if you're not. It's not putting your head to your floor if you're reaching your toes. It's about accepting where you are right now, and that's the yin. So right now, my job is to be the teacher. So I accept that through the teachings. Your job is to receive the teachings, and as a student, practice these teachings to go beyond me, to go beyond anyone, to go beyond yourself. And that's the ultimate teaching. It's the same teaching in martial arts. Who's your greatest enemy? Yourself. Ultimately, we have an influence, a karma, a dharma, a connection, a push, a pull, a reciprocation. Ultimately, what we call a relationship. Now you're starting to enter into the second level of what we call yin yoga, which is a practice to get there. No one's guaranteed, right? That experience comes over time. That's also very yin to say, right? Like love. Sure, you can fall in love right away, but that doesn't mean it's going to last. Same with the yin, right? It's a practice. That's why it emulates and simulates all these things. That's why we have to do it every day. And when I say have to, it's just the moral high ground, right? It's just saying that if we do, we stay clean because we can, right? We're not using anything but ourselves. You are the wood onto the proverbial fire. You are creating dryness in the body by breathing here, by being yin, very calm, very cooling. So maybe when you do decide to turn it up for a core class or for a vinyasa class or for a hatha class, that tapas, that fire is ready to go. Just like good dry wood. There's nothing worse than having wet wood, but we all start that way. Good, at this stage, we're getting to that comfortable edge. On that comfortable edge, you finally decide whether or not you can go all the way into relaxation. And relaxation is really about a stillness that is anything but still. You just stop. And when I say stop, everything is still functioning. Autonomic nervous system is functioning, but what we call the ego system, the somatic system, is not, right? We are being still. Maybe even if we're holding the system as the posture, right? Or the posture as the system, right? If we're holding it, that's great, but we need to be held in it. It's like being in a hammock. It just takes its form. And you have to find that. You have to find that perfect place where you can balance yourself. No different than an egg on a spoon, right? And walking around with it, right? Or balancing a pencil, right? On your hand, right? A little easier. What about a rock in the palm of your hand? Super easy. So imagine your body like that. Just make your body smaller and be held by a benevolent, beneficent being, by your own accomplishments, your effort to be here. This is the third phase of yin, when you relax the mind. You're not thinking about future. You're no longer thinking about past. There's just the present, right? Because if we're in the past, ultimately, it can lead us to a state of anxiety. And if we're in the future, right, it can ultimately lead us into a state of anxiety. If we're in the past, it can lead us to a state of depression. If we're in the future, it can do the same. But if we're in the present, and we're here right now stretching, there's really nothing sad about this. There's nothing really happy about it. There's just what is. And that's what the breath shows you. If it's hard, good. That's what we want to relax. That's what the yin is all about. Can you relax that which is hard? Right? Can you yield? Even with the teachings now. Nice long teaching for you guys. Stay strong in your forward fold. Want your forward fold to be as fortified, you know, like Japanese steel. With many, 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 many teachings. Some of them will connect like arrows. Some of them not. Some of them for a different day. Some of them are for a friend. Some of them are for a distant person, like a message in a bottle. But ultimately, the yoga from 10,000 years ago is the same yoga today. And that's the whole relaxation. Surrender into the posture. Don't fit into the posture. Let the posture fit into you. Find that forward fold. Feel that calm, cooling feeling. And just relax. Because everything you could ever want or be, you already have and are. Good. 5, 4, 3, 2. Listen carefully. Deep breath in, and then nice strong Brahmari to finish. And there it is, guys. There's your comfortable edge. Try and relax there. For 10, 9, don't think about anything. Just be there. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and spend a full minute enjoying whatever it is that feels best. Let your hands come behind you, soles of the feet to the floor. I like to windshield wiper side to side. That twist feels really good after a forward fold. Fires up the midline as we transition through, right? Moving the knees left, moving the knees right. Looking in opposite direction. As the knees go left, look right. As the knees go right, look left. Right, just allowing it to flow, letting go. And 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Remember, forward fold, backward bend. 2, and 1. Beautiful. beautiful work. Good counter stretching. Right? The beauty is letting it go and letting it flow right after your yin. Very important. Ooh, right? Always feel light because we're going to go deep again. And that helps with the feeling. A lot of people ask sometimes, how do you get rid of that feeling of feeling like 100 years older than yourself? I make jokes sometimes about being 40 years older. Everyone is 40 years older, but that's how it feels when the connective tissue starts to get into the ligaments and the tendons. So let's continue with that. All right. So this next posture, we're going to take our bolsters behind us just like this. Good. We're going to sit up on it. Fantastic. Let me get into a better position so we can all see. Fantastic. Good. So I'm just up on the bolster. I'm going to start to bring my legs more forward, just like this. More forward, more forward. And wherever you can get to, I want you to take your arms, give yourself a big hug. This is really good during times of, COVID, a lot of self-love. And this is a great way to heat your body. It's a great way to internally massage your organs. It's a great way to find your center line. It's a great feeling, right? Because ultimately, right, this is a feeling of bondage, but also a feeling of liberation as we hold ourselves, as we tuck in, as we bring everything in. If you can imagine from the side, I'll show you from the side, right? Nice and tight. As we work today in our core class, heart forward, heart back, we did it openly. We did it like this. We did it back and forward, right? Nice and open. From all that stretching, now we want to yin out by bringing it all in nice and tight and doing the same thing. And trust me, even if you can do this posture without the bolster, full, what they call Indian squat, feet together, right? Even if you can do that fully, this heart forward, heart back just feels fantastic. It's a great way to release a lot of the bondage. And that's what we call liberation. Right? Liberation is moksha, it's freedom. And it starts there. Right? That's the starting of freedom. And then the ending of freedom is when you're already free. You know that. It's the consciousness of freedom itself. Freedom to know you're already free, as it was taught to me, right? And that's the light that gets shared with you, right? That freedom, that knowledge of knowing you're already free, right? That's the space. We're sharing from this place, but the space, right? Imagine a cell, right? From the electron all the way to the proton. It's like a football field of space. Within each and every cell, it's trillions. It's an incredible realization. And as you hold all of that within you, feel all that change, right? Stretching it, heart forward, heart back. Circulation is increasing, compression, and all this feeling really, really good. And again, that bondage, right? If this was a straitjacket, right? The feeling of putting the straitjacket, but you are that straitjacket. You are holding yourself. This is good for you, right? Squeeze into it and then start to relax, right? First minute is getting comfortable. And then the second minute is just getting into a state of relaxation. And I like to really imagine this as heron pose, right? A heron, a majestic heron, right? So if you imagine the curves, so it's really important to get the right curve in your neck on this one. Sometimes I feel it almost as an incubator, like an egg, the feeling of being inside an egg. Forehead to the knees so the nose can breathe. If that's too much, you can always rest your chin right on the inside, push slightly forward, and that gives you just enough hang that you can keep relaxing and tucking your chin, all the while being able to breathe. And there's lots of different ways to hold your head, but feel it as a majestic heron, right? A blue heron, which is what Pickering and Scarborough would be all the way down with the east. Even the marshlands in the west are known for. They're beautiful creatures. Their spirit wanders half in the air and half in the water. So they're amphibious. And they're really, really, really spooked. And so they just sit. And this is the posture they take when they're in the water. It's very beautiful. breathing all the way in and all the way out. Feel the yin taking over. It's amazing how much stretch, how much power. For some of you, especially Mary, right, Patty and Lisa, you all know our classes. And many of you have experienced the Kundalini energy, right? This is where you really get to feel the seed of the Kundalini energy, right? This energy, this place, this setting is the root chakra, right? It's almost an embodiment of the root chakra, right? You are the seed form right now, ready to, awaken the Kundalini, like break free from the egg, break free from the chrysalis like a butterfly. It's the beauty of this posture. Right, eyes closed, traveling inside. Just resting into it. Heart comes forward on every inhale, on every breath. Feeling that frontal cavity, right, expand and then into the back. It's just a beautiful, beautiful journey from front to back. Good, and let's finish it up with one Brahmari. Deep breath in. Again, just imagine yourself being here without the support, right? That feeling as effortless as it is with the support. Very good, everyone. Slowly expand that posture, open it up, bring your hands behind you, soles of the feet to the floor, rest your knees side to side, but this time a little bit wider. So this time I'm actually attempting to try and bring one knee to the floor. And we know this is deer pose, right? So we're going side to side, right? Letting it flow, letting it go. Right, sometimes you notice my hands come off the ground, right? Doesn't matter, right? It's just a little harder, but it's good to do because, good back bend, forward fold, right? Ultimately, backward bend. If you stay with the forward fold, that feels good too, but open it up at the end for the full expansion. Let it flow, right? Let it go. Okay, that's just one way. If that doesn't feel good, right? Tighten it up, right? Do the double. That feels good too. It doesn't matter. It's just nice to change it up. Variety is the spice of life. It's another way of saying moderation is dynamic, right? Good. Fantastic. We're going to end up on one side. I have conveniently ended up on the left side. So left side, really, really good for digestion, right? Whether you've eaten before yoga, right? Whether you're waiting for after class, this is where we can make the most difference. Or if you just had a quick snack beforehand, also great too. Again, this is just going to aid in the digestion of whatever's there, especially in the small intestine. Ascending colon, here we go. We're on the left side, our knee is out. Slowly walk that back leg. Good, and you'll notice that I'm actually doing pigeon on half the bolster. Okay, so I'm doing pigeon on half the bolster. Fantastic. So here I am, I got my pigeon set up, feels really good. My other leg is on the ground, extended out beside it, and now I'm piloting side to side, right? Just moving side to side, right? Let it go, let it flow. Nice and easy, side to side. And as you do this, curl your spine down, look toward the ground, and then see if you can look even lower, look toward your belly button. It's okay if you rise up or rise down, right? Again, on whatever object you're using, you're just on the edge of it, right on the top part. Good. Now we're going to the next level, which is down onto the forearms. So slowly, right? Making your way, take yourself down towards the ground. I'm gonna back up just a little bit. I give myself a little bit more space, good. And as I come down again, just moving side to side. This feels really good. It feels different. For a lot of you who have the flexibility, your hip is going to want to push down into that. And so you'll be able to explore a little bit of a different range of motion. It's more like your back will have a little bit more ability to lengthen, right? Think of combining, right? Back bending and forward folding together. Lengthen. lengthen, right? It's a wave. Wave goes up, wave goes down, right? That's the amplitude. That's the elevation, right? That's the flow. That's what our breath, that's what we want to feel. That's the music of our hearts, for our lungs, for our organs. Breathing all the way in and all the way out. First level is getting comfortable. Just get comfortable where you are. I'm going to come up because I'm teaching and I want you to hear. Sometimes it gets muffled when I drop down. So what's important here is that you relax, right? Onto the forearms, right? And you're just coming down. And then it slowly starts to open up. You don't stay on the forearms for very long if you don't want to. Some of you have already gone past that. It's important to be always intuitive with your yoga. But remember, never force or fix something, right? You're not competing. This is not a competition, right? Yoga is a journey. It's a gentle journey into the unknown with you as the knower. The known and the unknown become one, right? That's the beauty of that. So as you surrender into the posture, as you let it go, let it flow, you start to feel that hip supported by the bolster. Now it's the time you can remove it if you feel like it. If not, just keep it there. But now is the time you remove it, and you'll feel this drop. You may have never felt it before, right? It's again just that sensation of the bolster preventing you from going down. Now that you can remove it, can you feel the drop or the release, right? Maybe it's too much, right? You can always just take it and just slide it right back in. So wherever you are, wherever you're feeling, again, just allow and accept yourself. It's a good place to be. It's at the depth of it. So we've gone from comfortable to now comfortable edge, which is with the breath. So your breath is, you're feeling that quiver, that sacred tremor in the ancient text, the movement of the kundalini, right? The interaction between the nervous system, right? And ourself, right? Because we're ultimately the ones experiencing it. Imagine the signal could just go out one way. There could be no self to experience anything. You would just be an experiencer without any recording or memory of the experience. Might all be procedural and instinctual. Whereas yoga, there's always an element of that within ourselves. But really, it's just natural, right? It's just what is. And we can accept it just like everything else accepts it. And that's where we don't have to force or fix. And that's what pigeon pose is all about. Releasing those hips, releasing those junk drawers. Good. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Whatever level we're on, if you have no bolster, bring that bolster back or that pillow, or again, that support as a concept. It's just a support. Training wheel, right? Whatever you want to call it. Slowly come back up, stretch, open that pigeon. Really important. And then we're going to do a few pigeon push-ups, right? So I'm just going to keep doing them, right? Your job is to flow around, right? If that doesn't feel good anymore, just move left and right, but at the right time, right? As much as you do these feel really good. At first they may not, right? Explore that. Oh, that didn't feel good. Good. Why didn't it feel good? Move it out. Maybe it's just ready to release, right? Down and up. Pigeon push-ups, nice and easy. We're not going to do any no-hand ones today, just with hands. Nice and easy, because again, we don't want to overstretch the muscle and then try to initiate it, and it's, you know, it's not going to act. It's hyperpolarized. Good. Fantastic. Good. Slowly coming back. Allow yourself to flow. Now again, I would just go straight on to the other side, straight onto the other hip. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be facing you, so I have to just flip around, and you have to imagine that all of this has just gone into that side. Okay, so around the other side. Perfect. So getting that knee in a nice, comfortable position. The hip is nicely supported. Your leg extends all the way out behind us. Relax. And again, just start to open it up. This is really good for permanent, lasting stretching. This is why we don't real candles, right? Dee, 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 dee. I wish that was the first time that ever happened, but it's not. That's why we just can't use real candles. Learned that lesson many years ago. Whew. Right? Let it flow, let it go. Movement is spontaneous, right? We shouldn't feel restricted, right? By the candles. Ooh, the candles. No, right? Just kick it out. I just kicked my leg out, right? It's really good feeling, right? Take that ownership, right? Hold space. You hear it all the time in modern culture, right? Being whispered around. Hold space. Be a space holder. Be one that can listen, right? Listen more than you speak. All great teachings, right? But ultimately, what are we listening to, right? Ourselves, right? Sometimes ourselves are too loud. Sometimes our loud selves are too quiet, too excited, too inhibited, right? So we always want to be in kind of the Goldilocks principle, right? Just right. And I believe that's what yoga does. It just sets the balance because it's just you being you, right? And you doing you is the new modern thing is you do you, right? The only way that's going to work is if it becomes a practice. All right, guys, beautiful. When you're ready, slowly coming down onto forearms, opening it up even a little bit more now. And again, come all the way down if you feel like it. But again, the forearms are always out for you. It feels really nice just to relax the head. Right, frame up, work with the hip. And again, slowly, slowly, as you get in with the breath, now you're at that level of what we call the comfortable edge. And at the comfortable edge is where we really get the experience of relaxing. So I'm going to come to the side just in case you want to give another gander just what's happening. If you're interested in the posture, we have lots of time. That's the beauty of being able to rewatch a class too. Really nice to re-practice something. Good, so this is the angle. So as you can notice, the only way if I could lift my arms up is if I could bury it into my hip. So we want to feel that hip as we pull down, come down. So it's almost as if it was going to lift me up. Move that way so you can see. So again, as it comes down, right, it's the feeling of it's coming down. As it's coming down, I can come up. Right, that's the feeling. Right, so the pigeon pose, hopefully gets unlocked for you as you feel that. Bring it down, right? If it doesn't feel good, just take that bolster back. Just place it underneath that hip, right? It's just like a little, like when we go to stop a door from going all the way, right? A door stopper, right? Helps it from breaking. That's what supports are all about. Helps it from breaking. That's what friends are all about. Helps it from breaking. That's what partnerships are about. And if any of those things are the opposite, then it's not really those things, right? Where's the love? Where's the balance? Right? Remember, self-love means you have a self. It's really, really important. Deep breath in, feel. Deeper breath out, feel. What are you feeling? Yourself. Breathe through yourself. Feel yourself as transitory, right? Or transparent. Right? Whatever the metaphor, whatever the energy, breathe through it like rice paper, right? Knowing that the breath is going to the other side. You can feel it even though it appears solid, right? It breathes. Good. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and we'll do one brown deep breath in. Good, and slowly coming up. And again, the best part is, again, just moving it around here. So if you don't have your bolster, right, you can obviously do this without. That's what you can see. You'll get more movement. But again, with the bolster, it's just like when we do the same thing with bridge pose, right? When we put the bolster underneath, glide, bridge. Feels great, right? Same with reclined pigeon, feels great. The hip likes to be supported, right? It wants to know it's good at something, right? Sometimes when we always do things without the support, right? Long way to go, right? A lot can happen from here to here. Right? So it's nice to have that little bit of support to know where you want to go and know where to say, well, that's a little too far. Oh, we're gonna have to slow down. Good, beautiful. All right. If you had a bolster or support, you can get rid of it now. Fantastic. Swing your feet out front. Rock your knees side to side. All right. Get a beautiful forward fold. Get a beautiful pigeon pose. And we're going to give ourselves just a little challenge. All right, last week we spoke about fish pose. We were doing splits last week. This is probably why no one showed up tonight at a big full class. Always think, oh, let's do something super awesome. Or I can't come to class next week. That's just what I think, right? That's just fun, right? That's the delight of light, right? To play around. So we have to do the same thing with this posture. This one can be very not liked, not received, and usually why people don't want to redo the class, but it's all about seeing through it, right? Over time, it all feels different, right? It should all feel the same. There's no ambiguity when it comes to yoga. It's unified. Beautiful. So you're going to kick the foot out. Okay, so very easily, just kick the foot out and then kind of bring the knee to the floor. So it's not like going into tabletop, right? So I'm going to show you from the side. Right? Just kick the leg out and then just bring your leg to your floor and then see how my foot is open. Some people, their heel won't go like that. That's okay. Right? Just move it around. See, I just got a crack. Just doing this very gentle movement. So don't rush your fish pose. Sorry, not fish pose, frog. Good, just side to side, good. So that's what it looks like from there. Ultimately, you got to see it like this. So actually, show you now. Yeah, I got to show you like this. So once you get out, shoot the foot out. You got that part. Moving that thing, the other foot, and then the knees go wide. So again, it's like going side to side with it, right? Don't come up, right? Just open it up. And then once you have it opened up, it's like you're in child's pose. See, this is child's pose, but your heels are open. So child's pose is here, you're pushing back, come forward, and then push back. You're noticing you're not gonna go far. Okay, so now I'll show you from the side. Just wanted you to see it vertically, so now from the side. Okay, child's pose is here, down, okay? Come forward, open. This is fish. Open up your knees, open up everything. Push back. Oh, not very far. That's great. This is exactly where you want to be. Okay, so do this a few times. Forward, back, frame your arms, and then find that sweet spot, relax. Forearms down to the ground, push backward. Right, the spine can do all sorts of things here. Right, you want to feel that, but ultimately you want to open it up and you want to be grounded so everything in your hips is opening up. So now we're working on splits actually this way. Because if you could open this up all the way to the ground, you would be able to do full splits. You'd just be able to come up. But even the thought of coming up right now is very painful. So we really want to be careful here not to go too far back and to know that when we come forward, and the more forward, as much as it will hurt, right, that's the safety out. So if there's a spasm or anything, it's just forward and then start to rock it out, shake it out. But try and curl your back. Get into almost like a turtle shell. This is known as frog for a reason. It's amphibious. You want to feel that you're in water. So you don't want to just flatten, right? You want to slightly lift, elongate that spine, come forward. Really, really ground. This is really good for your shoulders, right? It's really good for your nervous system, getting that energy out into the floor as we open up to the floor. So again, those hips keep opening up because ultimately they're going to go for full splits. I don't even want to try it today, but ultimately, Jean-Claude Van Damme could just kick out from here. Oh, right, and that's the beauty of a martial artist like JCVD. This is the training, but in yoga we call it frog. And again, it's also the training for us to relax and release that hip. So at this point, trying to find that comfortable edge, start to move that hip a little bit forward and back, right, as you get from that comfortable position with the arms, with the frame, with everything, and just be able to hold and relax your head. right? There's no need to go to the ground, right? You're just experiencing the opening in the hips, being able to pilot the hips forward and back by relaxing your spine. Everything relaxes, and just opening up all that energy to be released. Right? Liberation through realization of yourself, right? Through each and every posture. The pranayama, the breathing follows the posture. That's how you really open up through the hips, through the heart, through the head. Fish pose is a beautiful pose. I remember where I used to quiver and shake and just wish it to be over. Now it's like, the longer you can sit in it, the more it opens up. Again, but you have to come at it from a place of love, of long-lasting relationship. Right? This is your posture. This is your body. Being open through the hips is very important for your health and wellness. Right? Creating positive, lasting change for yourself, through yourself, in yourself. Good. Let's do one Brahmari here. You'll feel it. It's really strong, especially in the more horsetails of the spine, in the base of the spine. If you really Brahmari all the way through, you'll feel it, because now that base of the spine all the way up to the crown, very open. Good. This is a very, very deep, deep hip opener, much deeper than cobbler. But we did a nice strong cobbler this week, last week, so I wanted to do the frog pose today to challenge that. Good. Let's do a Brahmari all together. Deep breath in. Good, everyone. And now from here, like I promised, the escape is forward. Slowly, gently, just come forward, and then just let your legs relax. Let your heart come to the floor, ground yourself, and the painful feeling will dissipate as you start to move around and get ready for Sphinx. But you have a minute to get there, so spend all the time you need to relax, to move around on the ground, right? Let it flow, let it go, side to side. Just feel. All right, guys. So now we're going to take our position, right? This time we're going to do walrus or snail. So we're going to start with walrus, and if that doesn't feel good, sorry, not snail, Sphinx. You know how to get to Sphinx. That's kind of where we are with our last position with frog. But this time what I want us to do is start out wide and come into walrus. That's going to feel a little bit different. If that's too much and you can't do that, just come out on your forearms, right? And get that experience of opening up with the forearms. I'll show you from the front view. Ooh, candle, see? Don't make the same mistake twice. Oh, almost. Good. So, forearms out, right? Come from the outside, come in, right? Stay wide, stay open, see? One arm, whoop, now I'm both up, right? But I started one arm. Can I get up? Almost. Can I get up? Almost. Right? This is your first minute, right? This is how you customize each and every posture. By putting yourself into it, your personality, your experience, your exploration. That's why the seeker becomes sought, because really there's nowhere to go, right? It's just to do it, to be it, right? That's the freedom. The freedom of this posture's meaning is in the being. Right? There's one, oh, there's two, right? Oh, that feels good. Oh, that's a little tough. Oh, that's my comfortable edge, right? So let's breathe our way through it. Wherever we are, right? And if you're like me in walrus, right, try and imagine all the energies in your palms lifting you up through this frame. And as you lift up and back, everything is relaxed. Shoulders are relaxed, right? They're not, right? Nice and relaxed. That doesn't feel good. Bring it in. Change it up.
Oh, it's too hard now. Oh, that's okay. Come down on your elbows. Good. Breathing all the way in and all the way out. Stretch it out. This is so good, especially after frog pose. Opening those hips in the way we did. Now pushing the tailbone all the way through the ground, grounding, right? Feeling that frame as we rise up through the backward bend. The breath is expanding, relaxing and releasing. Feel that connection from the hips to the rib cage. Good. 10 more breaths. 10. 9. 8. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. And last one, guys. We lie all the way down on the ground. 1, choose whichever ear you want, left or right. We're going to do 2 Brahmari. First one, deep breath in. Good, guys. Left head up. Right, look on the other side. Oh, relax yourself. Deep breath in, Brahmari here. Good, guys. And when you're ready, slowly, gently roll over. Oh, I'm going to roll over the other way. 4 more candles become victims. Oh, slowly down. Oh, onto the ground. Right? Feels like Big Bear. That's how I feel. I always feel. Again, the description of feeling 40 years older is, again, just a description. Right now, it just feels big and heavy, right? The yin has this amazing feeling. And if that's happening to me as the teacher, imagine what's happening to you as the one who's fully experiencing the teaching, right? And that's why the student, right, is always or should be placed on the pedestal, right? It's the opposite. And is actually doing more harm than good, right? Because the true guru, as we've learned many times before, right, is within, and that's what's being awakened. Right? I had to listen to my body through those postures. You had to listen to yours, right? We want to fit into the posture, right? And how do we do that? We let the posture fit into us. Good, guys. Fantastic. Now that you're relaxed, straight into our Shavasana. Legs out wide. Get nice and comfortable on the floor. Right? Really open it up. Right? Take a deep breath in and a deeper breath out. As you you lie in Shavasana, just relaxing, letting go, letting be, and then truly seeing from within, right behind closed eyes, just what that somatic system is, being able to witness, watch, to do, right, to see, right, and then go even higher, right, go into what they call in yoga Vijnanamaya kosha, which is, the dream state, the imagination, right, up in the pineal gland, the third eye. Once you rest here in that state, once you feel that energy moving through you from the first state, from the base of the spine, from the first chakra, moving all the way up and through second, third, fourth, right? Staying in the fourth. That's the height of your experience, right? That's your earthly world, right? And that's the awareness of all the three realms of your heart, right? The earthly heart, right? They're not separate, they're one source. And then there's the divine heart, which is the one that was given to you, the one you have right now, that technology, that organic miracle and mystery that is being unraveled each and every breath, each and every moment, and each and every one of our lives. And so as we get calm and cool, right, we get to a temperature of warm and comfortable. And then through there comes the comfortable edge, right? What's that? Maybe there's something there. Maybe we got to bring our feet back down to the floor. We have to relax our head a little more. Right? Stillness is anything but still. A little bit of movement, when it was taught to me, was unallowed, right? Everything had to be very strict and rigid. And over time, you realize that it takes a journey to get there. And so to begin is really to have permission. It can get more strict in time, but it's really best to start in a soft way that agrees with you so you avoid injury. Because there's nothing worse than getting injured, because that's not yoga, right? That's not love, right? Injury is just a sign of not yoga, right? Not love. When there's love, there's understanding, right? And even understanding when there's not. That's the highest form, that's the unconditional. So let's feel that within ourselves. One strong Brahmari, deep breath in. Slowly, slowly, twinkling your fingers like stars, rock your head side to side. The soles of the feet to the floor. Stretch your arms up over your head. Side out, feel. Move your spine forward and back, right? Tilt your tailbone. Right? Awakening from your awakenedness. I'll walk those hands up. And come into a comfortable seated position, right? Have your heels underneath the knees. This is where all meditation begins, from the sitting posture. If that's not happening and your knees are really high, sit on a bolster. That'll drop your knees down. Wherever you're at, just bring that heel toward that hip and then just relax out. Good, fantastic, guys. Let me adjust the camera. Perfect. Let's take a deep breath in. Deep breath out. Good. Bring your hands together and start to create some energy in your palms. Continue to breathe in a natural way after that nice long deep breath in, deep breath out. Just let the breath just happen naturally. Focus more on the friction between your hands. Move along your spine, up and down, up and down. Stronger the better. For 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Open up those palms, relax, feel.
going to chant one mantra Om, sending love and light, right, to ourselves in this place throughout all space. Deep breath in. Shanti, shanti, shanti. Peace, peace, peace. In your thoughts, in your hearts, in your lives, and everything that you see, are, and be. The divine in me sees and shares the divine in you, in love, with love, through love. Thank you, everyone, for coming out today. Namaste. Yay!